Good morning. I am WaywornWyrm, and welcome to my channel. This is the introduction video to my series, The Second Rise of the Roman Empire. This video is going to be as short and sweet as the series will be long and savory. And in this video, we're going to quickly cover what this series is, why I'm doing this series, and a little bit of background historical information that is helpful to know going forward. The story will follow a cast of characters centered on the main court of the Byzantine Empire starting in 769 AD and going to the beginning of the Renaissance in the 1400s. A large part of the inspiration for everything that happens is Paradox Interactive's game Crusader Kings 2. Each episode in this series will start with a text of some kind written hundreds of years after the events in the story and will serve to set up something about that episode. What follows will be a series of scenes of varying lengths that jump between characters, events, and locations. Each scene will either take place at the same time or after the scenes before it. As I've said in other videos, this channel is mostly me performing stories I've written. So with my first series on this channel, I figured the best place to start would be with something very close to my start as a writer. I've been writing, in various definitions of the word, for as long as I can remember. But my creative writing start happened about 13 years ago in the mid-2000s. I bought the game Hearts of Iron 2 by Paradox, and after a short time, I found the forums that Paradox operated, and I fell in love with their games, buying almost every one they'd created up to that point. Right around the time that I was buying the games, I also discovered a section of the forum that is lovingly called AAR Land, where people would create stories of various kinds based on their games. In AAR Land, I started my creative writing up various stories from Crusader Kings, Victoria, Hearts of Iron 2, and Europa Universalis 3. Fast forward over a decade, and here we are, starting this new venture with a story inspired by a game of Crusader Kings 2. The biggest thing to know going forward with the history involved in this story is the split between Byzantium, and Rome. Outside of the story, I will refer to it as Byzantium or the Byzantine Empire until the story reaches the point where I reestablish the Roman Empire. And some of the texts that start episodes will talk about the Byzantine Empire or Byzantine period until a similar point, because that's how it's referred to today. However, the characters in the story will continue to call it the Roman Empire, and they will refer to themselves as Romans, which is what they did. If you go back in historical texts written during the Byzantine Empire, they don't call it the Byzantine Empire. They don't call it Byzantine. They don't call it Byzantium. They call it the Roman Empire, and its capital in Constantinopolis, which is the Greek term for the city. Historically, the Byzantine Empire had a long, slow descent that lasted from about the 400s AD until May 1452, when the Ottoman Empire, who called themselves the Sultanate of Rome, took Constantinopolis from the Byzantines and ending that empire. The Ottoman Empire considered itself a continuation of Rome and actually kept the original name of the city as such until it fell in 1922 and the Republic of Turkey was formed. At that point, the leader of the Republic of Turkey renamed the city Istanbul. History, from the point of view of the start of this story, followed its course the same as our history did until January 1st, 769, and is as historically accurate up to that point as Paradox could make it. Those of you who know a lot about this period in history will most likely realize that it takes a large and radical departure very quickly. With all of that out of the way, stay tuned right here and enjoy the second rise of the Roman Empire.